Manners, respect people. We're back on our journey. We are we happily doing the necessary things for us to be. All right, people. Again, for this month, I said that the people, the heroes that was before us, them set one amazing example for we. Our culture, our history, in every decade, in every century, we just rise up and be great people. But the fact that there's nothing to show for our greatness in a sense. If it's not corruption, it's infighting, it's but the fact that we had great nations, and at that them series them more under to what happened to our great nations. Because there's so much details, so much information, so much adventures, so much great lives, amazing work, amazing. I just love it. I just love the fact that the greatness has always been there. Our greatness, generation and generation of greatness, you just have to just feel the pride. Just have to just, you know, listen to them story. No, one of the people that mama say, my feature is Abraham Trador, Trador, Traor. There's no D in his last name, so I'm gonna keep on a massacre the man name. But it's Abraham Traor. When it's properly pronounced, and you're gonna hear the pronunciation from somebody who can pronounce a lot better than I can, right? So enough of the things the moment I talk about, the greatness of us, past, present, and future, right? Now, we do enough people in the past. There's many people in this present that we can just go over them stories and see their accomplishment, and just to see there's a next generation of us coming, just it's like it's filling me with more pride to know that there's hope. You see, many when we live in well, it's the environment we live in, right? And that's myself growing up. People had goals, dreams, and aspirations. People are living a certain, pretty much nature was incorporated in our life, daily basis. People say we get modernized, but we just get electronically advanced. We get better equipment for use. We get better cell phone. We have AI I listen to it all the time, right? But the funny thing about it is we're always being watched. That's how it is. And we're worth being watched. because our accomplishment is worth seeing, but it's also worth talking about. People not talk about few accomplishment like how they copy our accomplishment. So that's why it's important for us to keep track of what's going on, past, present, and future, and be proud about the past, present, and future. So, me say the people them that have been going going over their stories and stuff like that. I told you that I'm gonna do like a part two, part three, because the topic them so interesting. The topic them never boring. The people them never boring. Maybe I'm boring, but them people are not boring. Them people have spice to them, pizzazz, magic. The people them have charisma, charm. The people them are all well rounded with unlimited ability. So, since we did not talk about Abraham before, this is not like a part two of him. This is just like a refreshing, thing. I'm part of the whole curriculum of our educational program, learning, teaching, growing. Okay, so listen to this as we proceed. No, 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 no. They're not clapping for me. Joke. As we proceed.
The future is bright. There is more to come. This is because we are rich. Our country is very rich. Contrary to what you teach, saying that our country is poor. That's it, right? Do you still teach that? No, no. Burkina Faso is a very rich country and is the heart of West Africa. The downfall of Burkina Faso is the downfall of West Africa. This is a lesson on Pan-Africanism from Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso.
Tory. President Tory. Okay? There you go.
When Captain Ibrahim Traoré visited a primary school, he didn't just greet the students, he inspired them. Speaking with both students and teachers, he emphasized the importance of Pan-Africanism, unity, and patriotism. His message: the future of Burkina Faso and Africa lies in the hands of those who are educated, disciplined, and proud of their roots. Watch as he shares powerful words that ignite hope and determination in the next generation. Watch till the end and share your thoughts. As President Ibrahim Traoré arrived at the primary school, he was greeted by enthusiastic students and teachers. With a warm smile, he engaged the children in conversation, asking about their well-being and their studies. Good morning. How are you all doing? He asked, receiving cheerful responses from the students. Are you studying well? What are you learning this morning? Calculations, dictation, or reading? The students eagerly responded that they were practicing reading. The president, showing great interest, asked about their specific lessons and encouraged them to work hard. Much courage to you all. Keep working hard and respect your teacher and elders, he advised. We will come back to see you later. As the visit continued, President Traoré moved to another classroom where younger students were practicing numbers. He took a moment to sit with them, observing their work and commending their dedication. This morning's lesson is mathematics. That's excellent. Who loves mathematics? He asked. The children excitedly raised their hands. That's great. We need future mathematicians. Keep up the good work. The conversation then turned toward discipline and responsibility. The president asked who the class leader was and whether they ensured that their classmates behaved well in the teacher's absence. Being a good student means being disciplined, respectful, and responsible, he emphasized. You must listen to your teachers, respect your parents, and always do the right thing. This is what makes a good citizen. Do you know what it means to be a good citizen? The children nodded enthusiastically. President Traoré then explained the importance of solidarity, urging them to support one another and to uphold the values of their nation. Solidarity means standing together, helping each other, and working for the greater good. That is why we fight for our country and never give up, he said passionately. As the visit progressed, he encouraged the children to take pride in their national identity.
Bravo. Donc, vous chantez l'hymne national. Vous savez ce que ça signifie? Attendez.
You all sing the national anthem, but do you understand its meaning? The fatherland or death, we shall overcome. This means we must always defend our country. No one should come and take it away from us. Do you understand? A resounding yes filled the classroom. President Traoré then shifted the discussion to cleanliness and environmental responsibility, instructing the students to keep their surroundings clean. You see those plastic bags littered outside. You must pick them up and put them in the bin. If you see someone littering, tell them it's not right. We must keep our country clean.
Bye bye, au revoir. Et bonne chance. En tout cas, beaucoup de courage à vous. C'est pas facile.
As he prepared to leave, he took a moment to address the teachers, acknowledging their vital role in shaping the nation's future.
C'est très, très, très complexe dans ce temps de crise. C'est très complexe et c'est vraiment sur beaucoup de la nation peut compter.
Your role is incredibly important, especially in these challenging times. You are not just teaching subjects like math and French. You are educating the future leaders of our country. Burkina.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying though. It's about education. Education is so key. Education leads to you understanding why it's important for us to have a tradition, for us to have pride, for us to have respect amongst ourselves, also amongst others, but amongst ourselves. We cannot respect others and we don't respect ourselves. That's one of the things that I always look on. And what make you so respectable to others but not to yourself. As we proceed,
Educating the future leaders of our country. Burkina Faso needs patriots, individuals who understand the value of their land and culture. It is up to you to instill these values in them. We are counting on you. He reassured the teachers that the government was committed to improving education and infrastructure. We don't want these same buildings to be here in 5 years. We want modern schools where children can learn in better conditions. We must work together to achieve this. As the visit concluded, the students and teachers expressed their joy at having met the president. It was an honor to meet the president in person. His visit shows how much he values education, said one of the teachers. A young student added, meeting President Traoré inspired me. One day, I want to be like him. With a final...
You see what I'm talking about? Okay, and that's what I'm saying though. That's the past to the present to the future, just for them to be inspired like that, right? Because they see something that's admirable. That's why I say I do these things, because you see them people, yeah, all of these people are admirable. And the very fact, so you get from the past, the present, and the future.
Final wave, President Traoré bid farewell, leaving behind a message of hope, patriotism, and unity. The visit of President Ibrahim Traoré to the primary school was not just a routine check-in. It was a moment of inspiration and motivation. His words resonated with the children and teachers alike, reinforcing the importance of education, discipline, and national pride. As Burkina Faso continues to navigate its challenges, leadership that prioritizes youth and education remains essential for building a strong and united nation. President Ibrahim Traoré delivered a powerful message to both teachers and students, emphasizing that Burkina Faso is not a poor country. He urged educators to stop teaching children that their nation is impoverished, stating that such a mindset is detrimental to the country's future.
A mind set in stone, concrete, and cement. That's what you're talking about? And that man try to show you how we think. It's how we think. So when we mind set a certain way, not understanding there's other ways for you to think. You know, if you agree with everybody, but you can learn from everybody. You see it? As we proceed.
Stating that such a mindset is detrimental to the country's future. Instead, he called for a reawakening of national pride and a shift in focus toward Burkina Faso's vast natural wealth, cultural heritage, and untapped potential. Since assuming office in September 2022, President Ibrahim Traoré has implemented bold and transformative reforms aimed at strengthening the economy and reducing dependence on foreign aid. One of his administration's landmark achievements has been the nationalization of key resources, ensuring that Burkina Faso benefits directly from its own wealth. Under his leadership, Burkina Faso has inaugurated a state-owned gold mine, a move that aims to maximize revenue from the country's rich mineral resources. Gold accounts for 16% of the nation's GDP and 80% of its total exports. Yet for decades, foreign companies reaped the benefits while Burkinabe citizens remained in poverty. President Ibrahim Traoré's new policies ensure that a larger portion of these profits fund national development projects, infrastructure, and social services. In addition to gold, President Ibrahim Traoré has focused on agriculture as a pillar of economic self-sufficiency. His administration has launched large-scale irrigation projects, provided subsidies for farmers, and invested in mechanized farming to boost food production. The goal is to end food dependency on foreign imports and ensure that Burkina Faso can feed itself, making it a strong and independent nation.
Okay, and you see, the very fact say goal could be used two ways, because goal, which means the goal is to be self-reliant, and goal is the food, is like it's goal, because it's food is worth goal. Understand? Because real gold precious, and so is real food. Real food expensive. Nutritious food is expensive. Food that have value is expensive. So one of the biggest thing that I see President Theodore, no, D, Theodore, President Theodore does is plant. That's one of the biggest thing. I don't know we get to from planting, like how I don't understand how human get away first from something that's natural. Like listening, right? But the very fact say to be self-reliant is one of the best thing. The same thing I'm say with all the government and many countries is crying that they're not getting handout. As we proceed,
And feed itself, making it a strong and independent nation. President Ibrahim Traoré has made Pan-Africanism and cultural identity a central theme of his governance. Recognizing the lingering effects of colonialism, he has actively worked to restore national dignity and promote traditional values. In a symbolic yet significant decision, his government abolished the use of colonial-era judicial robes in courts, replacing them with the traditional faso danfani, a Burkinabe woven fabric. This decision represents more than just attire. It signifies a rejection of foreign influence and an embrace of indigenous culture and sovereignty. Additionally, President Ibrahim Traoré has removed French as the primary language of instruction in certain schools, emphasizing local languages and African-centered education. This move aims to reconnect young Burkinabe with their heritage and reduce dependence on Western narratives that undermine African potential. One of President Ibrahim Traoré's most critical challenges has been national security. Burkina Faso has faced years of instability due to terrorist insurgencies, but under his leadership, the country has strengthened its military capabilities and improved internal security. His administration has successfully secured advanced military equipment, including Turkish-made drones and Russian aircraft, to combat terrorism. This has led to significant victories against extremist groups and the liberation of several areas that were once under insurgent control. To ensure long-term stability, President Ibrahim Traoré has also invested in local military training programs, reducing reliance on foreign military assistance. His administration has recruited thousands of new soldiers, equipping them with modern technology and strategic training to protect the nation's sovereignty. Beyond economic and military reforms, President Ibrahim Traoré has prioritized education and healthcare, believing that the true wealth of Burkina Faso lies in its people.
okay, and again, the whole fact that this man has looked out for the people, right, and put them in a position, right, so they can be independent, they can have a free mind. That's one of the biggest thing, having a free mind, right? And this man puts his people in that position to have that free mind. The unity.
Burkina Faso lies in its people. His government has begun building new schools, modernizing curriculums, and increasing teacher salaries to enhance the quality of education. He has also introduced African history and Pan-African studies into the school curriculum, ensuring that young Burkinabe students grow up with a sense of national and continental pride. Under President Ibrahim Traoré, the government has expanded free healthcare programs for children and pregnant women, built new hospitals in rural areas, and increased funding for medical research. The administration is also investing in the training of local doctors and healthcare workers to reduce dependence on foreign medical aid. President Ibrahim Traoré's leadership is not just about governance. It is about a complete transformation of Burkina Faso. He is changing the narrative of the nation, proving that Burkina Faso is not weak, not dependent, and certainly not poor. His policies aim to empower citizens, promote self-sufficiency, and establish Burkina Faso as a leading force in Africa's new era of independence and development. By investing in the people, reclaiming national resources, strengthening the military, and restoring cultural pride, President Ibrahim Traoré is shaping a future where Burkina Faso is no longer seen as a struggling nation, but as a rising powerhouse on the African continent. His visit to the school was more than just a routine engagement. It was a declaration of a new era for Burkina Faso, one where poverty is rejected, self-reliance is embraced, and national pride is restored. Tell us.
Okay. Now, everything what this man has done since he's been in power, right? 2 years and some. The conviction with how he goes about taking care of his people, putting them in a position where they can grow, right? The importance of education. So that was just the introduction to what I was going what tonight topic is. And again, tonight I say today it was a pirate. And tonight it's I say a scientist. Okay, so it's NASA, the NASA engineer. So it's the lady behind the calculators, right? So I'm just gonna start. Okay. Like John Glenn and Neil Armstrong, pilot. I mean not pilot, them are astronauts. But behind every successful launch were the unsung heroes who worked tirelessly behind the scenes. Among them were the black women whose mathematical genius and technical skills were integral to mission success. There were the human computers, the calculators, who ran the complex equation needed to launch spacecraft into orbit, safely return astronauts to Earth, and calculate trajectories to the moon. Now, that's why I'm saying did start off with Abraham, because the very fact say him stress these things. These are science and technology where he stresses, right? And that are one of the things that before I say all of the people them pretty much is they're smart. They have intelligence, right? From from bounty hunters to everybody they had intelligence. So when him talk about intelligence is the key. Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson are the names most commonly associated with these groundbreaking women, largely thanks to Margot Lee Shetterly's book Hidden Figures and the subsequent film adaptation, but there were many more who contributed in vital ways. These women weren't just working behind the scenes, they were breaking barriers in a world that was not yet ready to acknowledge their talent. When is it ever time when our talent is acknowledged? Katherine Johnson, perhaps the most famous of these women, was a brilliant mathematician whose calculations were critical to the success of NASA's early mission, including John Glenn's orbital flight in 1962. Johnson's work helped prove that humans could survive in space and helped lay the groundwork for the Apollo 2 mission to the moon. Her story, like many others, was hidden for decades, overshadowed by the men in charge and society that undervalued black women's contribution. The struggles they face. It's impossible to discuss the achievements of these women without acknowledging the hardship they faced. Working at NASA in the 1950s and 60s was not easy for anyone, but for black women, it was a constant battle against racism and sexism. The culture of segregation that was still prevalent in much of the United States had its own rules at NASA, rules that limited black employees to certain areas and restricted them from interacting freely with their white colleagues. Even with NASA's office, even within the NASA office, women were often assigned to the most tedious and repetitive tasks. Black women, especially, were relegated to the most menial jobs, expected to work as human computers, quote unquote, rather than being recognized for their potential to drive innovation. Yet, these women refused to be limited by their circumstances. Dorothy Vaughan, one of the first black women to be promoted to a supervisory role at NASA, was an expert programmer in the early days of electronic computing. She taught herself and her colleagues how to use the newly introduced IBM computers, which were critical in the space race. At a time when computers were changing the world, Vaughan saw the future of technology long before most others. Yet she faced the constant challenge of fighting for recognition in a space that was largely white and male. Mary Jackson, another trailblazer, fought for years to be promoted to an engineering position. Initially hired as a mathematician, she wanted to become an aerospace engineer. The only problem? The engineering courses required for promotion were needed in segregated schools, and Jackson needed a special court order to attend. Undeterred, she earned her engineering degree and went on to become NASA's first black female aerospace engineer. I love that. The struggle of these women didn't end with their work at NASA. They had to fight not just for recognition within the organization, but also for basic respect and dignity in a society that often denied them both. But they did not let this stop them. They worked with quiet resilience, determined to contribute in ways that would change history, even if they were never given the credit they deserve. Despite the obstacles they face, the impact of these women on the space race and the world at large is immeasurable. The story of their triumph is one of perseverance, courage, and a fierce determination to prove that black women too had the brilliance and the ingenuity to push humanity forward. I tell you, all them people contribute. All these people are so amazing. Again, despite the obstacles they face, the impact of these women on the space race and the world at large is immeasurable. The story of their triumph is one of the is one of perseverance, courage, and a fierce determination to prove that black women too had the brilliance and ingenuity to push humanity forward. It's not just woman alone, not just black alone, but humanity. The work of these women laid the foundation for NASA's success. Katherine Johnson's calculation directly impacted the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight, the first American in space, and John Glenn's orbital flight. Ah, just to see. Look up this so. We put something up this so. Ah, amazing. Dorothy Vaughan's contribution to the development of computer programming allowed NASA to embrace the technological revolution that would later propel the US to the moon. And Mary Jackson's engineering expertise helped design the planes and spacecraft that made space exploration possible. Their legacy doesn't just live on in the history books, it lives on in the thousands of women and men who continue to break barriers in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM fields. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder that talent knows no gender, no race, and no boundaries. Jano, I'm not talking about that. What are you talking about? I'm telling you, inspirational. In recent years, there has been a concerted effort to ensure these women are no longer hidden in the background of history. Schools, scholarships, and institutions are honoring their contributions, and their stories are being taught to future generations. In 2015, President Barack Obama awarded Katherine Johnson the Presidential Medal of Freedom, acknowledging her years of service and her profound impact on space exploration. In 2019, NASA named its new headquarters building in Washington, D.C. after Mary Jackson, forever cementing her legacy in the annals of space history. These women represent not just the triumph of the human spirit, but also the perseverance of a community often pushed to the margins. Their ability to push forward despite incredible is a testament to their strength and brilliance. As more people learn about their contributions, their legacy continues to inspire a new generation of women, particularly women of color, who dream of following in their footsteps. You see, all of these people, the things with them do, it wasn't just done for one person. It was done for the collective. But the collective don't do for us because we don't do for ourselves. These are heroes. These are the people that needs promotion. But I tell you, say, if it's not TikTok, if it's not the stuff that's not important. And again, it comes down to what really matters. I'm gonna tell you some most of the time, it's a simulation. Because I then make what matters. Them create what matters. That's why I'm gonna say them people are matter to me. And it matter to the people them who are inspired by these people. Why is it important to remember their stories? In our modern era, the contributions of black women in STEM fields are still often overlooked. The stories of these women remind us that history is not just written by the famous figures who stand at the front of the room, but also by the countless unsung heroes who work in the background. By remembering the black women who fueled NASA's space race, we ensure that their invaluable contributions are celebrated and that future generations can draw inspiration from their determination. Their stories are crucial to understanding the full history of the space race and of the fight for racial and gender equality in the US. But not just the US alone, everywhere. We supposed to have the mind of equal right or justice and justice. That's why I'm gonna try to show you say it everybody think it's they don't they don't count or it doesn't matter. But it does. It really does matter. You hear what the man say? Stop thinking the country is at that. Me say, how can you guys say Jamaica is a poor country? How can Jamaica be a poor country? It's so rich in so much things. It's a rich country with poor management and lots of weak-minded people. Weak-minded people, cause them just accept what's given to them and don't explore nothing else. Weak-minded people become ignorant people. Ignorant people don't solve problems. Ignorant people create problems. So when you look at everything, it's all based. You see? All right, let me go to Jamaica. And you don't know, say, don't worry, I know where I'm in the story. Why it's important to remember their stories. Some can't tell my story too. I'm gonna go to Jamaica and whenever situation come up and I get upset. And tell me sometimes I get upset, I start talk English. Because you know your brain when you talk English and you talk patois, well, when you talk patois, it's different from when you talk English. So you have to navigate through English. You know, patois is just. I don't think in a patois there's any navigation because it's like anything come on your mouth, people say. Ah, so just the fact that I have to navigate through English, it gives me proper thoughts for me to think out what I'm gonna say so I can communicate properly so they can understand. Say, even though I'm pissed off, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm why if you understand what I'm trying to get across to you. This is why I'm upset. So when people are ignorant, they don't think. When people don't think, they make brash decision. Rash decision. That me say emotion at the moment. Most of the time, if 10 minutes after, okay, 10 minutes after what they did, if they can think 10 minutes after what they think, they wouldn't do it. But it's just in the moment. Most of the time, when in the moment come, one of them favorite thing is don't make them draw you out. So if them don't draw you out, right, you will be thinking logically. But when them draw you out, that's when them draw out the ignorancy and draw out the person that's supposed to know better. So this is why I say when we were educated, we were way better. We have sense enough to spend spend $1,000 or $2,000 on a bucket of NSC and then use it wash your clocks. We know that later on you're gonna need that money to invest in the business. That's why I say Jamaica is not a poor place. It's a place where the more money you get, the more you can make it worthless. That's it right there. The more money you make, it's the more you can make it worthless. So it doesn't matter how much money you make, you can blow that and still say you're poor. Because the mentality of poor is you're not supposed to have anything. And that's the mentality. And that's why him said, once we have this mentality and we teach this mentality, it becomes normal. And then one day you look around and you say, wait there, what's going on? But it's the mentality where uno set uno have it uno have to be the Jamaican and one have to be the worst Jamaican, because if you guys are not the worst Jamaican, that means that you guys are not Jamaican. You know, me don't know how that makes sense, but it's like creating something that's not real and then have to live up to that expectation that's not real. So if you're living up to something that's not real, are you real? Just a ask, because you see, when we're there with AI, or one and two people, them three people, them, we can't ask them question and nobody not have to get upset with anything. Them just have to think about it. Say if you live up to something that's not real. Okay, me see, I saw this, well, it's a female on the bus and her eyelashes were like bigger than her eyes. I know those are not hers. They look horrified, horrific. They look horrible, horrible, horrible. It just has to, how is it that you can put on something that makes you look so unreal and that makes you feel good? How bad do you feel about yourself? I just wonder, I just wonder. Because you see, when I did young, I did have this, I still have this quest. I'm gonna tell you, some reach a age when I don't see people living a certain way. So you can't say the quest is gonna happen. Eventually, but nobody's talking about the important stuff. As we look up at the stars today, we owe so much to the black women who helped get us there. They didn't just fuel the NASA space race, they ignited the spark that continues to light the way for future explorers, scientists, and innovators. So you see, now I start off with this. Then I'm gonna find out is there like a program for black students to enroll and be in these programs? Because you see the thing about it is these people they set the standard, right? They set the standard. Them set the standard, people. And I'm so proud that I have heroes like these I can go back and look at and say right through history. Again, we have greatness up, down, left, right, beautiful ladies, intelligent, beautiful lady. I just feel good. I feel so good, great about these people and their accomplishment. No, this is just a side note. Well, it's not a side note, but this I don't want like to have too much stories because you see the whole thing about it is for these amazing ladies to get their own space. But again, I can always do a part two and detail Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson because each and every one of them is a story by themselves. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just the side note is just, you know, okay, so this is the side note. The best dressed coaches in the game are black women. It often happens that the world of sports and the world of fashion intersect. Typically, that intersection comes in the form of the players. But if you look closely behind your favorite stylish player is often a very well dressed head coach. Several black female coaches are not only leading their teams to victory, but also making bold fashion statement on the sidelines. So you see when me talk about this. ah, we go from pirate, we go to the moon, we go to sideline. So I can't even say a side note. It's just the fact that there's so much great, 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 amazing people that we can all highlight. Any one of them we can just say, okay, these amazing people. So okay, all right. I'm just gonna do Three. Okay, so one of them is Neil Ivy, head women's basketball coach, University of Notre Dame. Notre Dame, fighting Irish. uh, I'm not gonna say it. Leave it alone. Okay, Neil Ivy is not only a powerhouse in coaching, but also a style icon in the world of collegiate basketball. Whether she's leading her team through an intense game or representing Notre Dame at a press conference, Ivy commands attention. With her sleek and sophisticated wardrobe, she often opts for tailored blazers, statement heels, and bold color choice that exudes confidence and leadership. Holla! Okay, Don Thornton, head women's basketball coach, Alabama A&M University, Alabama Sooners. Is it Crimson Tide? I think I am not 100% sure on that. Uh, Don Thornton, affectionately known as the Diva Coach, quote unquote, is a perfect blend of sports and high fashion. She embraced bold prints, vibrant hues, and eye catching accessories that make her sideline presence unforgettable. Thornton believes in showing up with the same passion and energy in her attire as she does in her coaching. Whether she's done a structured suit or a stylish dress, she embodies confidence and a keen eye for standout fashion. Tamika Reed, head women's basketball coach, University of North Carolina at Charlotte. North Carolina? Tar Heels? Maybe. I don't know. uh, okay, Tamika Reed is known for her sharp leadership and equally sharp sense of fashion. Recently taken over as the head coach at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte, she carries herself with an air of sophistication, often seen in polished suits, stylish blouses, and sleek footwear that elevate her sideline presence. She believes that dressing well is a form of self expression and professionalism, and in her impeccable wardrobe choice, reinforce her status as a role model for both her players and aspiring young women in sports. Amazing. I said I was going to do three, that's three. But there's a lot more, always more. People, all I'm saying is, all along our path, it's always been pride, love, unity, respect, courage, determination, intelligence, drive, consistency, persistent, resistance. Yeah, that's always, it's within us. It's within us to be great. Always been. Reach for the stars, the moon, and any planet out there. That's that's our greatness. That's our greatness. Don't be afraid. Step in yourself and represent yourself to the best of your ability. We are unlimited. Ah, people. I just feel like we all drop out a next, find a next hero to talk about. Because It's so nice just sit down and talk about them here, yeah. Just knowing that these people, through all the struggles with them got through, for us to sit here, read, appreciate the things that they did. It's amazing. Okay, fine, people. Guys, me tell you, say, yo, I'm going through these stuff and it's so amazing. So much amazing ladies in here. But again, it's just for me to do. Keep the chapters accordingly. Yes. Because once you get too deep into these stuff, then you can spend hours on them. Knowing me can spend hours on them. I go pick up like a marathon and pick like a good story. Some I can't say like any one of them is good, but I'm saying maybe I should go like um I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Like say from because you could pick I could pick like say five scientists, five actress, five, or I could pick one scientist, one actor, one actress, one karate teacher or something. Just a wide variety, a wide variety of like different ability, different fields of work, and the geniuses and how they fit within the spider web of us. And that's why I'm say those people live within us. Some of the poem them I'm right, I'm telling you, the geniuses of us. Okay, so side note. Maybe I should talk about no. Maybe I shouldn't do the side note. I'm gonna tell you something, right? I've been my whole life I've always written down stuff. Right? Me always I write stuff, me always have ideas. But again, the ones me start coming involved with technology. It's like technology just start thief my ideas them. Right? AI. Cause I know some of my ideas them AI I go say, So many of the stuff them where when I write down, these are the stuff that I have now. But I had many more writings before. Somebody gonna do a side note. But I say I can do a marathon on that. All that little. Can come on all day and just go through some of my poem them and some of them things there. Because again, this is not just for me to just talk about great people, but be part of it too. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of here and a little bit of there. Seeing. All right, people. Here we are going now. I need some subscribers. We're not stressing enough if you buy subscribe subscribers, but I like and I share up the thing, you know, so people can get on the things. So when I start doing like interaction with people, then it'll be, people know what I'm all about. So I'm about the greatness of us at all times. People on a comment, always on a comment. You can always comment on the topic or later on and you can decide where we can go from there. You know what I'm saying? I go start put up some of the plant them on me have plant and them start ready for the summer already. Because you don't know the month them go by fast. Manners and respect. Always more.